Thailand, and more specifically Bangkok, have always had a very special place in my heart. I came here for the first time when I was 22. I moved to Bangkok to study at Chulalongkorn University, and later on I would come back to the city on numerous different occasions, sometimes spending months at a time here. Oh God, I really love this city. And as you know, I've recently made one of my biggest dreams come true. I decided to travel full-time for a while, which so far has been one of the best decisions of my life. I've seen and I've experienced so much, but after months and months on the road, I was slowly starting to feel burned out. And I realized that if I wanted to keep going, I really needed to go home. But since I didn't want to go home yet, I decided to go back to a city that couldn't be more different to where I'm originally from, but somehow over the years became so comfortable and familiar. I've been waiting on this moment for so long. 3 years to be more exact. Do you recognize this place? I cannot even believe it. I cannot even tell you how happy I am right now. I am back home. I made it to Thailand. Oh, life just feels very unreal right now. I'm so If you scroll all the way back on my channel, but don't actually do it because I just did it myself and it was painful and embarrassing. But if you would do it, you would see that some of the very first videos on this channel are filmed in this exact place, Nansi Residence in Bangkok. This is where I started my journey with YouTube when I was doing my semester abroad in Thailand. OG viewers of this channel will definitely remember this place because this is where it all started. For me, this is where I made my first videos, and I haven't been back for 3 years, more than 3 years, and being back home in Bangkok just feels so special right now. It's exactly what I needed. Burnout was not the only issue I was dealing with. This is me after arriving in Thailand, sick and tired, in a hospital, all by myself, dealing with a health issue that I had for a while and couldn't get rid of. Unfortunately, getting sick is very much a big part of my reality when I travel. And at this point, I was too tired to keep moving while trying to get myself back on my feet. It is done. I got the help that I needed, I guess. I also got some medicine here. So I think I'm good to go. Honestly, if there is one thing that I've learned traveling for the past few months is that traveling can be truly exhausting. It's amazing, but it's also exhausting. And most of the time, it's very different from what many people portrayed it to be on social media. So when I started to feel like I needed a break from traveling, I knew that this would be a perfect place to go because I just desperately wanted to be in a place where I didn't have to waste so much of my time on trying to figure out the basics. I think many people forget that when you travel and move from one place to another, you're constantly forced to use so much of your energy on trying to find a place to eat, trying to find a good coffee shop, or trying to find a place where you can do your groceries. Or you're just constantly worrying about things like, how do I get there? Am I safe here? Is it okay to walk here by myself? I just really needed a break from constantly moving around, changing places, meeting new people. All this is incredible, but after a while, it does get tiring. I just wanted to stay in one place for a bit, make my own food, unpack, and most important of all, I also really needed to focus on work. Making content and traveling full-time, turned out to be quite difficult for me, and I just really needed to be in one place to fully focus and dedicate majority of my time to work.
I love traveling, but traveling and working at the same time, it's a whole different story. Even if your work is something that you're really passionate about, it's easy to struggle with self-discipline when you have no routine in your life. And I found myself often losing the point of it all. What am I doing? Am I having fun and traveling and living in the moment, or am I supposed to work right now? And I'm not saying this to complain. I am saying this to this little girl that I used to be back in the day, watching other people on YouTube traveling and living their best life, or at least that's what they would say, right? Especially if they're trying to sell you their online course. But I want you to know that as much as I love this lifestyle, it's not always easy and there are many challenges. So go for it. Do what makes you happy, but don't forget to appreciate what you have and where you are right now. Because I found myself on the other side of the world, living my dream, yes, but also missing having a kitchen, and I don't even like to cook.
This toast was like what we would always have after a night out, or during a night out, before a night out, on a school day, I would basically eat them all the time. They're very, very good. And if you think I'm crazy, like, just try them, okay? They're really good. It's just funny how sometimes coming back to a place where you used to be a bit of a different person kind of makes you realize how much you actually grew. Even though I'm definitely getting older, I still have this tendency to think that I'm a child, or I still feel like a child, like a 29-year-old child. But being back here, it made me realize that, you know, I did grow up a lot. I did some major growing up lately. And maybe it's not necessarily about growing up and feeling older, because I honestly don't feel much older, but I certainly do feel more confident in myself, and I just feel more like myself, you know? I just feel like life choices I make and the way I live my life right now is just so much closer to what I actually want. And when I think about myself back in the days when I was 22 and I came here for the first time, I spent so much time worrying about useless shit, like just about people and what people think, what people say, things that I would really not think about now. Can you hear the roosters? Roosters are for me a sound of Bangkok. Part of the reason why I love being back here so much is honestly this area, and this is where I always stayed in Bangkok. This is a very residential area, not very touristy at all, so it is very different from downtown. Obviously you do not hear roosters in downtown Bangkok, but we are very close to center. We are about 2 kilometers away from Lumpini Park, so you can totally walk, and that is actually what I'm doing right now. As you know, I freaking love this place. I love Lumpini Park. It's like my little happy place on earth. But before I go to Lumpini Park, I really want another coffee, and one of my favorite places to get a coffee in Bangkok happened to be right behind me, so quick stop. I already spotted the first lizard. It's swimming right there. Oh, but also there's another one sitting. So there are these huge lizards. I think they're actually called barongs. I keep calling them huge lizards that live here in Lumpini Park, and it's pretty insane because they are very big. They're not dangerous though, otherwise they wouldn't live here. But they do look scary. And another lizard right there. Can you see how massive it is? Oh! The other day I was actually thinking when I came here how funny it would be, or actually not that funny, if someone would come to Lumpini Park without knowing that they're here and without knowing that they're actually not dangerous. Like imagine just sitting on the grass and then all of a sudden you turn around and there is this monster behind you. I mean, if that would happen to me, I would like probably get a heart attack. Ladies and gentlemen, we are entering My favorite place in Bangkok, Lumpini Park. You know, it's really funny to think how much I love Bangkok now and how rough our beginnings were. So my first day of attending Thai university was not a good one at all. I came home that day and I was like, where the F am I? Like, why did I come here? What? Anyways, first of all, that drive, you know, 4 kilometers an hour, I was like, how do you live like this? Like, how do you get around?
So I recorded this very long monologue, which unfortunately or fortunately you couldn't hear because the streets are very loud in Bangkok. But I was basically sharing the fascinating story of my first school day in Thailand when I took the shuttle bus to university, and driving 4 kilometers at 9 a.m. in Bangkok took us more than an hour because of traffic.
And the reason why I never took that freaking shuttle bus again was because this street, and it's a massive street, it's 5 lanes on each side, so 10 lanes in total. The traffic gets so bad.
And yes, traffic and the heat are the 2 biggest issues with Bangkok. Both make your life very difficult. But from that day, I learned that metro is the only way to go in Bangkok if you don't want to lose your mind.
Then I went to school without a sweater, and you might be thinking, like, why do you need a sweater in Thailand where you actually do need one? Because inside, so classes inside school would be so cold because of air condition that I literally almost died in that class. And we had to wear uniforms in school, so girls were wearing like short sleeve shirts and skirts, and you wouldn't wear tights because, I mean, no one wears tights here. Also, I didn't know that the AC would be so strong, so I just remember sitting in class and like shivering because I was so cold. So as you can probably tell, during this time of the day there are not that many people around because it is afternoon, which means that the sun is very strong and majority of sane people do not come to Lumpini Park at this time of the day. But in the mornings and in the evenings you'll see so many people running here, and that's also why I love this park so much. You know when you have too many options and then you end up doing nothing because you don't know what to choose? Like, that's how I'm feeling right now. Bangkok is just a city full of options, full of activities, full of amazing places that I could go to right now, and I'm so overwhelmed by this choice that I don't even know what I want to do right now. But you know, the world is my oyster. Bangkok is my oyster today. I can go wherever I want. I'm young-ish, not really getting old, but still not the worst, and I can do whatever I want. Sawadika. So I got back home and did a quick workout, and now I'm gonna get myself some dinner from Papa's. We have 2 street food, like local restaurants here. One is called Mama's and the other one is called Papa's. So this is what I got from Papa's: fried rice with shrimp, and then I will also be adding some tomato and fried egg on top of it because I'm very hungry. I miss this so much. Papa's food is like my idea of homemade Thai dinner.